So I like even number videos, and I can't leave here without doing even number videos. This magazine I picked up during the week of the 4th of July. It was out there at Walgreens, and as I was walking by, I love classic movies, and Tammy was always done by, it's a series of movies that my mom and my grandma both, they were like, oh, you got to watch this Tammy and the Bachelor, Tammy and the Doctor movie, and it was always good movies, wholesome movies for me to watch growing up. And Debbie Reynolds is the star in that, and there was always the other end of the spectrum, which was Life with Father with Elizabeth Taylor and Spencer Tracy, and Father's Little Dividend with Elizabeth Taylor and Spencer Tracy. And so between those two stars, and when I saw this cover, and it said, The Betrayal That Rocked Hollywood, a tragic death, a marriage destroyed, and their incredible untold story of forgiveness. Eddie Fisher's son told all. And it just drew me in. I had to buy this magazine. So, we're going to go ahead here and dig into this book. And I believe that the main thing that I had paper clipped was the headline story, if you will. The cover story, Debbie Reynolds and Elizabeth Taylor, Friendship, Betrayal, and Forgiveness by Louise Barlee. How the Hollywood icons found their way back to each other after a broken trust tore them apart. In 1966, Debbie Reynolds and her second husband were in New York waiting to board the RMS Queen Elizabeth to England when she spotted the baggage. I saw tons of luggage going by me and the bird cages and dog cages and nurses, and I realized Elizabeth was on the same ship as me. She remembered. I almost changed my mind about going, but my husband said, don't be silly. 7 years after Elizabeth Taylor had run off with Debbie's first husband, singer Eddie Fisher, the two actresses and former friends found themselves trapped together on an ocean liner. I sent a note to her room, and she sent a note back to mine saying that we should have dinner and get this over with and have a good time, recalled Debbie, who accepted the invitation. She moved along in her life, and so would I. Elizabeth, who began acting at age 9, was already a star when she was a teenager. Debbie met at MGM Studios. We went to school together on the lot, recalled Debbie. I was just a beginner, and she and I were not in any manner alike, but we got along very well, and I was in awe. Debbie, of course, would go to become a star, too, in classic films like 1952's Singin' in the Rain. 3 years later, she wed teen idol Eddie Fisher, and the couple were hailed America's sweethearts. There was no doubt my father was the love of her life, the couple's son, Todd Fisher, tells Closer. I know how much they loved each other. The ultimate blindside. When Elizabeth married her third husband, Michael Todd, in 1957, Debbie and Eddie were their witnesses. Their foursome were so tight that Debbie and Eddie named their son Todd after Elizabeth's husband. So it's a little surprise that Mike's sudden death in a plane crash a year later left them all devastated. Debbie generously offered to watch Elizabeth's 3 children and sent Eddie over to her house to keep an eye on her. He went with my blessing, Debbie wrote in her 2013 memoir, Unsinkable. The 4 of us were so close, I was sure that he could comfort her. The affair that begun between Elizabeth and Eddie would turn Debbie's world upside down. I was the last to find out, she confessed. There had been hints in the papers, and I had noticed that I had turned up at functions or parties, and on my own, my friends were whispering. Even so, it was a great shock to them to find them together. I was shattered. The public took Debbie's side of the scandal and branded Elizabeth the homewrecker. Eddie came off even worse. His self-titled TV series was canceled. He also lost his recording contract. My father accused Debbie of turning the public against him, but it was just his behavior that caused that, says Todd, a witness to his father's callous actions. I have a telegram from when I was 2 from Liz and Eddie wishing me a happy birthday, he says. Why would anybody send a telegram to a 2-year-old? The answer is to mess with Debbie. My father was prone to that behavior, and Liz didn't even know about it. The power of love. Of course, Elizabeth and Eddie's marriage didn't last. She left him for Richard Burton in 1964. By the time Debbie and Elizabeth met up on the ship, they had both moved on. My mother was a class act, says Todd, who released a memoir, My Girls, A Lifetime with Carrie and Debbie, in 2018. She handled it with such grace. Elizabeth, meanwhile, sought forgiveness, not just from Debbie, but from the children who had been hurt by Debbie and Eddie's divorce. Many years later, Liz insisted on telling me in great detail the whole story of what she was feeling when she went off with my dad, says Todd, who explains Elizabeth called it a tragic rebound off of the death of the love of her life, Mike Todd. Debbie's older children, Carrie Fisher, also accepted Elizabeth's apology, even helped bring the former friends closer by writing These Old Broads, a 2001 TV movie about aging actresses that Debbie and Elizabeth agreed to star in. The movie included a scene where the characters forgive each other for fighting over an ex-lover named Freddie. That was the moment they became closer again, says Todd. They literally started talking to each other for hours. Todd recalls a private plane to an AIDS march in San Francisco with his mother and Elizabeth. It was fun to see them together again, he says. It was magical. The forgiveness that took place between them was important. And that bond remained intact for the rest of their lives. People always assume that you're going to carry a grudge, but I don't do that, says Debbie, who visited her friend often in the last months of her life and was bequeathed a matching sapphire necklace, bracelet, and earrings set by Elizabeth following her 2011 death. We passed through that time, reporting Katie Bruno. And we have some pictures here where they share a picture with Debbie and Elizabeth here. It says, "We were friends for years," said Debbie with Elizabeth in 1954. "Love and scandal. I was a virgin when I married Eddie," said Debbie with Carrie, Eddie, and Todd. "I was very religious, so I didn't believe in divorce." Debbie was the matron of honor when Elizabeth married Michael Todd in 1957. Debbie finally agreed to a divorce, and Eddie married Liz in Las Vegas in 1959. Liz and Eddie, after she fell in love with Richard Burton while filming 1963's Cleopatra. And here at the very bottom it says, "I told Eddie she would throw him out eventually, and that's exactly what happened." Debbie Reynolds. Okay, I just thought that was interesting, so that's why I wanted to share that with you. They do a horoscope, but we've already went past that time, so there's no point in sharing that. Let's see here. Melissa Gilbert is a grandma. That's worthy of mention, I thought. Happy for you, Melissa Gilbert. Let's see here. And, I guess that's the only things I had marked. Okay, well. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. One of my favorite stars was recently in a movie on Lifetime, The Doomsday Mom. And he starred with his real-life wife now, Linda Pearl. So it says, "Never Give Up on Love" by Patrick Duffy and Linda Pearl. This is a couples update. This happy pair discovered that romance doesn't have an expiration date. During their 2-week quarantine together in Canada, Patrick Duffy and Linda Pearl exercised, cooked dinner together, and even adopted a seagull who used to visit their balcony hopping for a snack. "We named him Elmer," Linda tells Closer. "We created a little video on Instagram. It was hysterical." It's been less than a year since Patrick, 72, the former Dallas star, and Linda, 65, a longtime actress, fell for each other, but they are still going strong and working together. "To look forward to every moment you can be with somebody is a real gift in a relationship," Patrick tells Closer. "I am stunned every time that I realize this amazing woman loves me. It was just like, wow." Quarantining together so that they could film the roles in Doomsday Mom, the Lori Vallow story in Vancouver, premiering June 26 on Lifetime, was the ultimate test for these long-distance lovers, as Patrick lived in California while Linda calls Colorado home. "It was time to really get to know one another with no outside influences to encumber you," notes Patrick. "We found out that we were aiming the same direction." The actor never expected to find love again after the death of his wife of 43 years, ballet dancer Carolyn Rosser. But he and Linda, who is divorced, hit it off late last year during a group text chat, and Linda called his slow courtship a very Victorian process because they spent several weeks talking before they even shared a kiss. Explains Patrick, "We Zoomed every single night for at least 2 to 3 hours, so we explored all of our history, our past, our loves. We listened to music together, covered all the ground you normally cover over months of dating." An unexpected gift. Playing a married couple in their new TV movie felt very natural. "It's the first time in my entire career I got up in the morning with my co-star and then walked back to the set holding hands," gushes Patrick. "The chemistry works off stage and on. And always being together and not being afraid to show affection was so enjoyable." Patrick and Linda say they look forward for other projects they can do together. Unlike the romances of his youth, Patrick finds the love later in life is much more selfless. You get to a point where you think, it's all about her. How do I get her to smile? He says. We've eliminated all the trial and errors that happen in younger relationships. It's all positivity and lovely. Linda adds that if love can happen for them, it can happen for anyone. Life is full of surprises, both good and bad, says actress. Patrick and I we're not looking for this. We didn't expect it and didn't see it coming when our paths crossed, so don't ever give up. The reporting by Susan L. Hornick. Patrick and Linda play the worried grandparents in the Lifetime Doomsday Mom. Patrick is one of the strongest people and the kindest that I know, Linda Pearl says. A road to each other. I know that she would expect me of me, and I try to live up to that, says Patrick, following the cancer death of Carolyn, his wife of 43 years in 2017. Linda has survived several heartbreaks and has been married 4 times. Her first husband was actor Desi Arnaz Jr., whom she wed in 1979. My boys met Linda and fell in love with her, gushes Patrick, who has 2 adult sons from his marriage, Connor, Shone, and Pedriac. Linda's son Lucius, from her 3rd marriage, is a professional soccer player. Our boys have yet to meet, so that will happen soon, she says. Patrick is a fabulous cook, and I like to eat, Linda jokes, sharing in a moment in the kitchen with their love. And I just think that's wonderful for them. So happy for them. Anyway, I kind of enjoy this magazine, so I'm going to keep my eyes open and see what's on the cover from time to time. And who knows, maybe eventually I'll get a subscription to Closer. Just saying. Thank you for tuning in. That's all the videos for tonight, and thank goodness that's all the magazines too, and probably till tomorrow. I love all of you. Stay tuned, stay healthy, stay well. God bless.